girl and I met a little boy down in a grocery store in East Detroit. Pipe in one hand and the other a toy. Said, what you doing? He said, never you mind, we're creeping. We're creeping. Word in the morning and the dust in your eyes. Sun coming up and you can't even rise. Blood in your mouth and a pain in your thighs. Shouldn't pick fights with someone twice your size. Creeping. 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 Creeping all around your door. Little mom side you just his time. Must said no about a million.
All right. So here's the dealio, what we're doing today. We are going to be actually creating digital portfolios. Portfolios, you say? What's a portfolio? Historically speaking, a portfolio was a container or a kind of very, very large briefcase. Well, a really nice one had some thickness to it. And you would keep all your artwork in there and you'd have it nicely matted and you would have it titled. And that way, when somebody wanted to see your work, you would show them your portfolio because all your best work would be in your portfolio. We are going to create digital portfolios this year. And some of you guys may have done this last year. So if you did, this is just a refresher of how to do that. And I'm going to grade it. So like every couple of weeks, I'll say, you know, I'm going to check your link on your portfolio and, you know, I'll give you a grade to see if you're up to date on it. Okay. So the first thing is you need your artwork. There's a couple different ways to do this. Number one, a nice sunny day, take your artwork into a nice sunny room, take a picture of it with your cell phone and then email it to your school email address. That's the first way you can do it. And then you can download all that stuff into your Google Drive. So when you start to make your slideshow, which will be your portfolio, all your stuff's there to begin with. Second way to do it is you can take a photo with your Chromebook. And I know it's going to look like I'm reading off a screen here because I am. I don't own a Chromebook. So I had to look it up. In the corner of your Chromebook screen, select the launcher. Corner will either be here, 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 or here. Okay, then open camera. On the right side, choose an option, take a photo, select video recording, or select square, take photo. And that should allow you to take photo. Now, the thing that's important, and if it were daytime, instead of me doing this in the middle of the night, when you go to take your picture, if you have light from behind, I'm not going to be able to see very well what's on here. So when you go to take your photo on your Chromebook, you know, press a little timer or have somebody hold it for you. If this looks transparent, because it starts getting funky depending on where you hold it, put something behind it. You know, put another extra sheet of paper or put a book behind it, just so that light from behind you doesn't make this seem kind of opaque or transparent, okay? It's not really transparent, but it will not take a decent photo unless it's solid enough that light's only coming from one side, all right? Then you save that in your Chromebook and you can build your portfolio from there, all right? I'm going to show you how to build a portfolio using Google Slide. So the first thing you do, I'm going to share my screen, is you go up to the little waffle in the right side, which we always seem to have, all right? And you know what, I'm going to actually go all the way from the waffle because it'll just be easier. So the waffle is what they call this thing. To me, looks like the world's most poorly drawn tic-tac-toe board. And you go to slides. In my case, slides is right up at the top, so I don't have to go anywhere. To make your portfolio, and you can see there's a series of portfolios here that other kids have done over the years. You're going to click on the blank, And that's going to open to this whole new page. Now, you can have your background be white if you like. I like a black background because I feel like that really helps you ignore what the background is and focus on what's in the middle. So I'm going to click on this and it will make all my stuff black. Now, over here on the left is a little plus sign. So I'm going to start with maybe 2 or 3 more frames just for my portfolio. And I'm going to click on my first one and it says click to add a title. All right. So I'm going to start to type Mr. Vaulato's portfolio. Whoop, messed that up. Folio. All right. My subtitle would be my class period. Class period. I'm going to put down a class that I don't have, a period that I don't have class, just so you guys don't get jealous. All right. So class period 2, 2020 through 2021 school year. All right. And that's all I need for my opening page. So when I look at that, or I look at your portfolio, when you send me the link, it'll be all good. I'll just be like, oh, okay, I know what class they're in. I know who they are. I can give them a grade. All right. Okay, so here I'm going to click on the title, Person, House, and Tree. So I've given it a title. Now I'm going to insert the image. I'm going to go to my desktop. We'll see if this will pop up. It popped up, so that's cool. Did it go long? Yes. Too big. It's blocking stuff. So, and now it disappeared completely. Now it's there. So I'm going to grab this corner. I'm going to click on it, and I'm going to press the shift button at the same time. The reason I do that is so I can make my image smaller and not change the proportions. Because if you don't click the shift, what you do is you start to pull it inward and it gets skinny and tall and it just looks all wonky. And like I said, this was the perfect one to use because there is a person swimming in a pool and there's a tree and there's a house in the tree. So I've got my person, my house, and my tree. Now, with each one of these, you have to do a reflected piece. All right, so you have to write what you like about it. In my case, I am, relatively, no, that's incorrect. Sure, I meant relatively. See, spell check, beautiful thing. Relatively happy with this piece. If I had to change it, I would have put more shadows in Annie's face. Annie's face. All right. So yeah, I'm okay with most of this picture. I've always felt that it's a little thin on her face. And I could go back and change it, but this is already printed in my third book, so I would just be changing it to make myself happy. It wouldn't be changing in all the copies of the third book. So I kind of just, at points you have to go, all right, it's as good as it could be at that time, and I need to move on. All right? So that's what you do with your first one. Now your second picture, let's see if I can find something to import from my computer that's a pre-sketch. Because I will be asking you guys to show me pre-sketches at some point. So in this case, I'm going to open something that's a pre-sketch. and I can write what I like or what I dislike about this pre-sketch. All right. So if you were doing your symbols of your favorite things, because that's a pre-sketch that I want you to add, if that is, you know, your class is doing that pre-sketch. I want you to look at your pre-sketch. Now, my pre-sketches are sloppy, and they're really just composition sketches for me. They're just telling me what I need to put in here. My first one is a warship with a bunch of birds attacking it. There's a character that's missing. So in the pre-sketch, I feel pretty good about the pre-sketch. But I believe it could benefit from a figure in the foreground. Let's see if that's even how you spell foreground. It is not, but that's okay. I went too long with foreground. Okay, so now after that, if I had my finish piece done, and we'll see if I do. Okay, so here I'm going to write finished. I'm going to click finished illustration, finished ship picture. Now, if you want to take and change anything, like let's say you want to make this smaller font, you just click it, select it, go up here to where these numbers are. You can make it smaller. If you go to the underlined, you can add an underline. If you go to the color, you can change the color of it, or you can put a border around it. All right. So I'm going to upload from the computer. At this point, I got to go back to my desktop again, hit open, grab that corner image, pull that sucker down so that it is roughly the right size. Maybe I'll move it over a little bit, give some black around it. And now I can actually click between my pre-sketch, my very sloppy copy, and back to my finished. And I could be like, needs more birds. More birds. Or maybe I'm going to be like, the greatest drawing I ever did, you know? Whatever you want to write about it, just as long as you're kind of giving it some sort of assessment. You know, you're going, I could have added some more birds. Maybe the bird should be a little more at her instead of with her, because you could tell she's got some blood coming out from behind those gloves. Basically, because in the book she gets hit in the face with a bird. And her fortitude, like she's dressed like a warrior, but she's a princess when it all comes down to it. So this is a truly horrific moment for her. So, okay, I'm going to try to add just one more, just because I'm going to see if it's large enough to add. Upload from my computer again, back to my Toshiba. I'm going to go for icons this time, just because I think I'll be able to find it quicker. And okay, there's a drawing that I'm very fond of. Now, let's say I didn't want to have these two things with words just because I wanted to be able to see it without words. Then maybe I'm going to write about it on the next page. I can click on these, and oddly, if I just tap once, they're gone. All right. Now, this is telling me that this image is too big, but it let me do it, so I don't know what to tell it. It's there. It's going to be there for the time being. Is it photographed as well as the other ones? No, sadly it is not, because this is a stupidly large drawing. And these, going back, were actually scanned. So, I mean, I know people don't have access to a scanner because they're stupid expensive. You could go to FedEx and have them scan your stuff. You don't have to. Just take a picture of it with your phone. I'm probably going to have to take a picture with my better camera of this stuff to actually get it in the next book, because it's too big to even scan some of the drawings. Okay, enough of that. What are we going to do? We need to send this to me so I can open your file and take a look at your portfolio. So we're going to go up here to Google Docs. We're going to select this email, or I'm sorry, we're going to select this address. I'm going to go back to my inbox. I'm going to hit compose, and I'm going to send to Tim, Vaulato, at u-46.org. I'm going to attach it. I'm going to put the name. Why, it's going to be weird, right? So I am going to make up a name. Kwakuba's portfolio. And I hit send. And boom, there it is, Kwakuba's portfolio, which means I can open it. I can now click on that, and I can look at your portfolio. So having your name on that email means I know who sent it, what I'm going to do so I can always find it when you guys are updating is I will take that and I will drop it in my student contacts. And when I see your name and the word portfolio on it, that means I could go into it at any time and check your portfolio. So if I'm like, you didn't turn this in, and you're going to be like, yo, it's in my portfolio, I can go look it up in your portfolio. And that should be awesome. All right, let me get on my share screen. All right, cool. So reason I'm making this video, and I'm going to edit the heck out of it because I had a few roadblocks there because I'm using a Mac and my system is set up for publication, not necessarily set up for slideshows. Go back, rewind it if you have to, look it up on YouTube or find it in the announcements. And if you get stuck, ask me, send me an email, do something. I will help you out. All right. But we're all going to do these digital portfolios. So cameras away, pull out your camera, start taking pictures of your stuff. And then what will be great about this is if you lose your artwork, but you took a picture of it, you could still submit that photo. If your drawing got spilt cereal on it or, coffee, or your little brother used it to start a fire, if you got a picture of it digitally, I can still grade it. All right. So that's what we're doing. It's good talking to you. Have a great day. See you later. It's really late. I'm going to bed. Nighty night.